In this video, I'm going to see how long it takes me to get up and running with a brand new iPad. So let's go. Hi, my name is Pete and welcome to Studio Live today. And yes, it has finally happened. I have finally upgraded to a new iPad Pro. Now, to give you some context here, I haven't had a new iPad since the iPad Air 2 that I still currently use. That would be this one here that I'm going to be transferring from to this one. Now, the beautiful thing is about the Apple infrastructure and universe is that everything kind of follows you. So once I log into this one with my iCloud account with my Apple ID, everything should be pretty quick to set up. But I want to find out, with all the updates and all the things that we need to do, how long will it be before I can get back to creating? Because I'm right in the middle of recording a new EP. I don't have a lot of time and I was hesitant to do this, but I'm trusting that things are going to go to plan. Will they? Let's you and I find out. Now, very quickly before I start the timer and unbox and then start setting up, a couple of things about this. I did go for the 11-inch iPad Pro. I've upgraded to the 512 gigabyte model, so it's going to have plenty of space for me to create because I do a lot of video and audio on my iPad, as you probably know if you've been watching this channel. So I didn't go for the larger screen size because I wanted a bit more portability. And I find, even as much as I love, because I do also have this secondhand iPad Pro first gen, which is 12.9 inches, this can still be here in the studio, but I wanted something that could go everywhere with me and could be more portable. So I got the Wi-Fi model of the iPad Pro 512 gigabyte. Now, if you're in the market for a new iPad, there are links down in the description, and you can also go to studiolivetoday.com/iPad. There's my complete iPad guide. That's a free PDF document with every iPad ever made, so you can compare. And if you're in the market, there's some videos there and some other resources that'll help you out. But for now, let's jump straight in, hit the start on the timer, and see how we go with this. So the stopwatch is there at 0. Let's hit start. We are away. Let's unbox this sucker. Now, they seem to have made it easier. Here, we've got this little tab here, so I can get straight into the plastic. There you go. There's your first win. I'm pretty sure 5 years ago, when I unboxed my iPad Air 2, we didn't have such luxury. So I'll be able to get into this one a little bit quicker, and then we're going to do that. Now, they always make them look all nice and shiny on top here. There it is. There's the 11-inch iPad Pro. I don't love these rounded corners. I don't love that there's no bezels. I don't love that there's no home button. But this is the way things go. I also don't love that there's no headphone jack. But don't get me started on the headphone jack. So here it is. Again, it's ridiculously small and thin and light. I don't know that it needs to be quite as thin and light. Well, that's going to sound great on the video. But here it is, in all of its glory, the iPad Pro 11-inch. And this is, again, I'm happy with this size. This feels really good in the hand. This feels like I can be doing some one-handed stuff, and it's not going to be as inconvenient as having the bigger one. But plus, I was able to upgrade to the 512 gigabyte because I got the smaller size. So that is what we have there. The other things we get in the box, and don't worry, this isn't an unboxing video. We've got the little brochures of some sorts there. We've got our USB-C charger. So yes, I'm not familiar with seeing these sort of things around. So we can power that up with our USB-C. And we do get a USB-C cable. Nice white Apple branded USB-C cable in the box there as well. So again, fairly minimalist because it's Apple. Oh, by the way, I'll tell you the story a little bit later about me picking this up, and hang around to the end. I'll tack that on the end. We want to get this set up now. So first thing I need to work out, I'm not going to read any instructions, but let's just see if we just turn on. I'm assuming I hold down the power button. And do we get the Apple logo? No. Do I have to hold it down longer? Maybe. They usually come, these days, they come charged out of the box. So there we go. Just had to hold it down a wee bit longer. There is our Apple logo. Let's pose for the thumbnail. That probably will be the thumbnail of this video. Me looking goofy, looking at my Apple logo. So we'll wait for that to continue doing its thing. We're at 2 minutes at the moment. There's our hello, so that's good. Swipe up to open. Okay, I'll follow you along. We'll tap on English. That's cool. Now I've got to select my country or region. I'm here in Australia. I'm going to tap on Australia. It's going to select my language, and we're off to the races. I'm probably going to have to flip around when I start entering more personal details, but here we go. Quick start. Now, this is pretty cool because what we can do is I should be able to use my iPhone and bring it close. So let's grab my iPhone XS here, turn it on, and it should do this. It should say, yep, you're setting up a new iPad. You can't really see it very well there, but it says, yeah, do you want to do this? Do you want to use the quick setup? So we're going to do that. I'm just going to tap continue here on my iPhone. It's going to connect and do its thing. It's telling this iPad that that's cool. We've done our thing. Now, hold up your new iPad to the camera. Hold up your new iPad. Oh, okay. I've got to line up the circle in the thing. Got to go the other way. Like this. Put that in the circle. There it goes. It says it's okay. It says it's fine. Finishing on the new iPad. So this should be all I need to do with the phone. We're going to put that. This is how long it's been since I've used a new device. I used to have to enter my own, username and passwords and Wi-Fi's and things. This looks like it's going to set everything up. Enter the passcode of my iPhone. Well, I'm going to pop this down while I do this because you probably shouldn't know my passcode. I'm being told that you're not supposed to share this sort of stuff. Click, 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 click. There we go. It's now saying, yep, we're authorized. We're going to set up your iPad. So it's doing its thing. Hopefully, that's going to be all we need to do there. So this says finishing off, and this says it's doing its thing. Let's take a break. The clock's still ticking, but so that you don't have to watch me watch stuff, we'll come back and tell you at what point we are when we're at the next step. Now, this is my first iPad with Face ID, and I'll tell you more details later, but at the Apple Store today, I had to wear a face mask, and let's just say Face ID doesn't work with a face mask. Anyway, we're going to set this up now, so we're going to tap on Continue here. I'm going to have to turn around, rotate to Portrait. Which is the top? Can't even tell. Oh, there's the camera. All right. How to set up your Face ID. It says first, position your face in the camera frame. Better lose the hat for this one, and then move your head in the circle to show all the angles of your face. So this is what we're doing here. You've set up this stuff before. Yeah, you probably don't need to see all of this, but I'm just going to go ahead and set up my Face ID. First Face ID scan complete. Face ID is now set up. So it's now setting up my Apple ID. We're only at 6 minutes here, so we're ticking along pretty well. I think the key is if you've got another device and you let that do a lot of the grunt work, I haven't had to enter a whole lot of stuff on the iPad. So we'll continue waiting and see what happens next. Now, when I get a new device, I never quite know what to do here, whether I want it to be completely fresh or whether I want it to use my other iPad and install all of the apps. I've recently curated the apps that are on my iPad Air 2, and it's asking if I want to do that. So I'm actually going to use this. I'm going to continue, and it's going to use those apps just so that all of my music making apps and other things should come in here. Terms and conditions, I read all that. You saw me read it, right? I read everything. Keep my iPad up to date. Sure, why not? Location services, sure, why not? Apple, you own me anyway, you know that. So, there we go. Apple Pay will flip around and I'll just get this set up. I need to verify my bank by a text message. So we'll say, yes, you can do that. Telling me all about Siri. Surely Siri knows my voice by now. We'll continue on that one. Improving Siri, share audio recordings from Siri. I don't even know about that. I'm going to go not now for that one. I'll let you have most of my stuff. iPad analytics. No, not for now. Don't share those ones. We'll see how we go. I said don't share. Sometimes when you tap on something, it takes a little time here. So it's like, but are you sure? Maybe it's giving you extra time in case you change your mind and you do want to share them. No, there we go. We're good. So the iCloud backup makes purchases from the Apple Store with a different Apple ID. Okay, so some of the purchases I have, I've got a few different Apple IDs throughout the family. They've probably logged in and purchased other things. I'm just going to skip that and just bring in the stuff that I've downloaded with my Apple ID. And now we are doing our thing. We're restoring from iCloud. So this could be what takes the time. So time remaining is estimating at the moment. And we're at the 10-minute mark here. So this could be what actually takes us a while to get up and running, at least to start with. We will pause here on the video so you don't have to watch me watch your screen. And we'll come back once we have an update. Now, our time remaining has gone from 2 to 5 and now to 8 minutes, which doesn't fill me with confidence. I really wish, if you don't know, just don't tell me. But don't underestimate. And we're 12 minutes now? Yeah, don't underestimate and then make it longer. That's the most frustrating thing. Just say 47 minutes, and then if it takes 23, I'll be a super happy camper. It went from 2 to 1 to Apple logo very quickly. Now we've got the progress bar here going on, so we'll see how we go with this. Let's check the timer. We are at, it won't tell me, we are at 16 minutes so far, so not too bad. If we can get up and running soon, maybe within 30 minutes we can be back creating music. We'll see. All right, hello. We are at 18 minutes 40 and we are back here, so let's slide on up. Look at my Face ID. It says the restore's being completed. We're going to continue on here, and now it's setting up my iPad. So we'll see if, might even be within 20 minutes, maybe we can actually get into an app here. And of course, you know, the first thing I'm going to open, it's going to be GarageBand, and I want to see how quickly I can get the track that I'm working on back up and running, and we can hear it on these sexy iPad Pro speakers that I've been hearing so much about. Now, it's telling me how to go home. You might laugh at that, but I'm going to be searching for that home button that this is actually good. I'll need to remember to swipe up from the bottom to go home. We'll hit continue on that one. Welcome to iPad. Let's swipe up. Here's my apps. We are back up and running. Let's see what it's actually put. So yeah, we've got all of this waiting business here, and I'm going to need to do some serious arranging of apps because I got like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screens of apps here that I need to actually wait on. Now, I think I might even have to look it up, but I think there's a way we can actually increase the whack your microphone, increase the importance of the app to download. So let's try that. There we go. I've tapped and tapped and held on GarageBand, and I'm going to tap prioritize download. So they're all still waiting, but I'm hoping that GarageBand, now that it's been prioritized, will download quicker. So I'll leave this for a minute. We're about 20 minutes in. We'll see how quickly we can get GarageBand loaded and then opened, and then we can get creating. Now, while we're waiting for GarageBand to download, I have jumped in here to the settings, and we've got iPad OS 13.5. So this ships with 13.4, but we might as well do the download and update so that we're right up to date with 13.5. I'm really glad I didn't do a live stream of this. We're at 24 minutes now, and we're still waiting for GarageBand to download so that we can get in and check how everything's going. It is downloading apps in the most random order. I don't know what's going on here. I've tried reprioritizing GarageBand by tapping and holding and doing its prioritize thing, but it's still just sitting there, and it's still at about 50% and hasn't moved for a while. And the clock's ticking here, so this is 41 minutes in. Yeah, hopefully we get up and running soon. So that is done. It has downloaded those. Now, it's still not getting past halfway for GarageBand. So when in doubt, turn it off and on. Yeah, and it will be a test here to see if I can work out how to actually turn off and on. I'm assuming it's just the power button here. So we're going to tap and hold. That's my Siri. So maybe you need to hold both buttons. Yeah, no, Siri's just talking to me.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, don't worry. No one understands me, Siri. So what I'm going to do is, I think you have to hold down the power and the volume up button to turn it off. There we go. So there you go. We've got slide to power off. We will power it off, and we'll turn it back on and see if we can finally get GarageBand to download. I'm so glad I didn't do this live. Power back on. We know we have to hold the power button for quite a long time now. There's our Apple logo. We'll see if when this boots back up that we will actually get GarageBand downloaded. That Siri voice was very loud and scary, wasn't it? So no luck, and we're 49 minutes in. So time for plan C or D here. It probably would work eventually, but we want to force it along a bit. So I'm going to actually tap and hold and delete this, or cancel download. Oh, it's gone away. And now let's jump back over to the App Store and find it and re-download it. So I'll go and search for it and try and start a fresh new download. So we're in the App Store. We've tapped on the download. It is now hopefully going to start doing its little spinny thing, and we'll see if we can actually get this down. I didn't think this would be the hardest part of getting a new iPad, would be getting GarageBand to actually re-download despite trying to prioritize it and do other things. Let's go back to our screen, find where it's downloading, and do our prioritization. Tap and hold, prioritize download. We'll tap it once, we will put it down, we will leave it, and see if we can actually get this done within an hour now. So it's been so long that the temperature's dropped about 10 degrees, and I think my beard's grown a little bit longer, but we are good to go here. We've got GarageBand installed. Now, the timer I had to stop because I had something else to go and do, but we hit just on the 1 hour mark. Now, the only real problem there was, like you saw, we're about 20 minutes in, and then it was just downloading this GarageBand that was the actual problem. So, yeah, we've got everything downloaded now, but if you're in a super hurry, yeah, don't rely on the fact that your apps are going to download in order or particularly quickly. Let's open up GarageBand and make sure we are good to go. Ooh, I haven't seen this screen for a while. Welcome to GarageBand. Thank you, Apple. I enjoy it here. Yes, we can download all the sounds. In fact, that's something I will need to do, won't I? I'll need to go to Sound Library because we've got all of these new sounds. So let's tap on and download all of these. If you've never downloaded packs before, you need to come in here and you need to hit get. They're all free, so you can go and get all of these. So who knew you were going to get a GarageBand lesson here at the same time? So we'll get all these. I'm not sure that I've used any of these sounds in many of my recent songs anyway, but we'll jump in and grab them all anyway, and then I'll open up a track and actually get to work. Right, that's done. We've queued up all of those to download. We can now go back to my home. And the beautiful part about this, as I mentioned before, we can go to on my iCloud drive here, and then we can go into GarageBand. We should be able to go straight in, not to ideas, that's the wrong one. In progress, my EP, and we are back here. Oh, missing Sound Library. Let's wait for the Sound Library to update, and then we'll open this up. I was trying to work out which song pack I was using in a singer-songwriter song, and it was, not surprisingly, the Songwriter Drummers. So that's all good now. We should now be able to go back out and actually open up my song. We'll tap on that one. It opens up there, and we are back. So we did kind of lose the whole timer concept there, but around about an hour it took us to get this all done, keeping in mind that more than half an hour of that was just waiting for GarageBand to download. So I guess the learning there is that it's very quick to get up and running, but don't guarantee that you're going to be able to use your apps. Let's come in and hit play on this. I'm just interested. I'm not plugged in. We're not mirroring anything, but just through the microphone here. Let's see what the speakers are like and what this is going to sound like. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be using it like that very often, obviously, because I'll be plugging in audio interfaces and microphones and other things and outputting via the headphones. Now, keep in mind, our iPad Pro only has a USB-C port, and I didn't actually buy, which I'm just thinking about right now, a USB-C to 3.5mm adapter like I meant to. So that'll be a trip tomorrow to Officeworks to pick one of those up. I also need a case for this. I didn't go the Magic Keyboard. It wasn't in stock anyway, but it's $499 here in Australia, and I couldn't quite do it. This was enough already. I couldn't pull the trigger on that one, but maybe in the future. I know that some other folks here, some viewers here have actually got them and think they're really good. I'll stick with my USB mouse and keyboard for the time being. One final thing to talk about here before I tell you my little anecdotal story is that I did pick up one of these. So I did pick up the official, original Apple USB to digital AV. Now what these do, and yes, you can see my $99 price tag, yay for living in Australia. They're about $60, I think, in the US, and I don't know the other equivalents, but this is like a combination between the Lightning to HDMI adapter and the Lightning to USB 3, because you've got the 3 different ports on there. You can actually plug in your USB devices, which I'm assuming is going to be my USB hub. We'll be testing that out in a video coming up. An HDMI connection, which means we can finally get some decent streaming over to my live videos, hopefully. Got a few things to work out there, as well as USB-C. So we should be able to power this up and then power up our iPad and connect up USB devices and video at the same time, which is something you can't do with the Lightning-based iPad. I've had a lot of questions about that lately. It simply can't be done. There you go. I'm pretty happy with this, despite the few challenges we had getting GarageBand installed again. Nearly dropped it. That would have been fun if I just dropped it straight down and got a big crack in the front of the screen the first time I used it. But we'll be exploring this in the coming weeks, so hang around for those. Now let's just jump back in time to my pre-recorded bit, because I got so bored waiting for this, about the experience actually buying this. So I promised you the complete story of me buying this iPad, so here it is. I had been thinking about it for a while, which model I would get, what I would actually do. Eventually, I thought, yes, I'll buy it. Checked every store near me. Unfortunately, the only one that had the 512 gig model in stock was the Apple store. Thankfully, they had just reopened. So instead of getting it delivered, I thought, I'm going to venture in and go to the Apple store. Now, when I get there, you had to check in. So I bought it and then I had to get a special time, which they gave me a little code that went onto my phone here. So I walk up and I'm like, yep, here's my barcode. Everyone was outside the store. There was a lineup outside the store. They were wearing masks and gloves, had their little iPad devices, and they were checking folks in. As soon as they realized that I'd actually already paid and bought something, I kind of got ushered around to the special security line for people that weren't just there to kick tires and ask questions, but were going to give them money. I get handed a mask, and I put on the mask. Are you going to be able to hear me through this? I put on the mask, and then as I'm waiting there for the store to open, because it was right at the start, I'm trying to use my phone, and I go, oh, whoops. Yeah, Face ID doesn't work so well when you're wearing a mask. So that was that. I then got in there. It was a very quick and easy and painless process to get the actual device. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting kind of experience, very different from just going in and just sort of wandering around and touching things and doing things. It's obviously a different time here in May 2020. But yeah, kudos to them for protecting their employees, their customers, and getting things done. So there you go. That was my experience buying this one. I hope you got some value out of this. And if you are in the market to upgrade an iPad, as I mentioned before, there are links down in the description. You can go to studiolivetoday.com/iPad. If you've got any questions about this, please drop those down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.